Each and every Thursday, we record with Steve Merrill of Wager Talk. I enjoy this segment because he runs down all the major games in college football and gives his edge. But you got to take the deep dive on Steve's money management plan and all that he is available with all his selections on college football, the NFL, and the NBA. WagerTalk.com. All right, Steve, let's get to it with Illinois taking on Michigan at the Big House. Illinois had a nice breakout season, but they've lost 2 consecutive games straight up. Michigan's an 18-point favorite.
Yeah, we talked about the Ohio State, Maryland game on the Ohio State channel, obviously, and I mentioned that I thought that line was a little inflated. I only made Ohio State 25. They have the huge look ahead to Michigan, of course, on deck. This game is similar as far as the look ahead with Michigan having the big Ohio State game on deck. The difference is this line is not inflated. In fact, my database simulation is like Michigan out of the gates in September, and they've been an undervalued team basically all season long. And 6-4 against the spread, so they've been a little undervalued. 60% is pretty good. 10-0 straight up, obviously. But my simulation favors Michigan in normal situation by 24.5 points. So about 10,000 database simulations, more than half the time Michigan's winning this game by 3.5 touchdowns. Now, obviously, I did not factor in the simulation the possible letdown spot, a look ahead, because you can't really factor that in. I do think there's always the tendency that Michigan could start prepping, obviously probably have started prepping for Ohio State for several weeks. Last week, the game landed right near the number on Nebraska. That line was 30.5, near close. Michigan wins 34-3. I do think Harbaugh is one of those coaches that kind of knows the point spread, so whenever possible, he probably tries to want to win for his backers. But having that Ohio State game on deck, can't imagine full focus is on Illinois this week. We talk about backdoor cover potential with good offensive teams, and Illinois decent. They throw for 7 yards per pass against teams that allow 7.2, so a little bit below average offensively, but really good defensive dog here. Very rarely this late in the season, Mark, do you see a team getting more points than they allow in the season. I mean, Illinois gives up just 12.5 points a game. They're getting 18 here, give up just 4 yards per play. So if they can keep it close and, somewhat hang here, they maybe could cover the big number. But unfortunately, I don't think the line is high enough. And keep in mind, we talked about this a few months ago when Michigan played Iowa. The Hawkeyes were allowing less than a touchdown per game. Michigan went in there and put up 27. They had 18 first downs halfway through the game. So I'm not sure this Illinois defense is used to this type of offensive opponent, and I do think they'll step up in class here and probably have some problems. Michigan will be the way I play it, but I'm a little bit concerned about the look ahead to Ohio State.
Listen up, folks. This is the way to go. You got Steve Merrill. He joins us every Thursday, but you get the complete selection of all of Steve's picks. WagerTalk.com. Steve is kind enough to give us his under-the-radar selection of the week exclusively on Patreon, and he's delivered 10-1 against the spread. Crazy. Go to patreon.com, search MarkRogersTV, join the Discord for college football conversation right there. Steve, thank you so much for the time.
Thanks, Mark.